Some days are better than others as far as like anxiety and the crushing weight of existing. BT dubs didn't understand a single thing this was talking about. I'm tired, but that's showbiz, baby, okay? This is why I stay home and mind my business, because I went to the store for a couple of things and she's $70 poorer. I wasn't even 100 pages in and I was like, I don't know what the is going on. I don't know what the is going on. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're gonna do my February TBR draw, even though it is February 16th, which is super late in the month to be doing this. And because of that, I'm only gonna do 4 draws, and then we're gonna pick what the books are gonna be. If you're new here, my name's Alex, PharmD Reads. I'm a pharmacist, I read a lot. That's all I really like to do. Go to work and read books and hang out with my cats. So if that's something you're interested in, please hit subscribe, hit like, stick around, stay tuned, watch some other vids. But at the time that I'm filming this, editing me, figure it out, but I recorded my January TBR draw and then January just absolutely took the life out of me. So I never got around to finishing up that video, posting it, the plans that I had. So I may or may not include that in some sort of content at some point, but just for the sake of today, we are gonna do my TBR draw for February. And I was gonna do a library themed reading vlog, but I think it would be more fun to do the draw, pick the TBR, pick the books we're gonna read, and then see if I can get those books done in the next week and a half, because really February is like 2 weeks away from being done. I did do 6 prompts. I pulled 6 prompts in January and I ended up reading 4 or 5 of the 6. The only one that I have left is Dracula. So I'm gonna roll it over and see if I can fit it into the TBR this week, because it did not get read at all yet. But yeah, so it's just too late in the month. I was trying to see how many days are left in the month. 12 days to read. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I've just decided. We have 12 days. I'm gonna run this vlog from now until the end of February and then get it posted ASAP, or just however long it takes. I'm gonna pick 4 prompts from my TBR coffin that I made. I'm gonna do 4 picks from here, and then we're also gonna include Dracula. So if you want to see me try to stick to a TBR in a reading vlog, here it is. It's gonna happen. It's happening right now, live. Okay. I am gonna open this up. And we're just gonna do the first, wherever the wind may take us. Okay, here's one. Do I have just one? Yeah, I do. Okay. I feel like this is upside down and I can't read it. Special edition. Okay, cool. That is very, very vague, very open. How should I do this? Should I pick them as we go? I think I'm gonna pick them as we go. Okay, special edition. Honestly, I have a special edition of a new sci-fi that I got from the Broken Binding, and for some reason I was thinking about it earlier, so let me grab that and we'll take a look. Okay, this is All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu. Okay. Stunning sci-fi edition from the Broken Binding. And let's see, at 14, Julia Z becomes infamous as the orphan hacker, a teenage prodigy who broke the law and captivated a nation. Now, years later, she's trying to leave that life behind, hiding in the quiet suburbs of Boston, represent. But her fragile anonymity is shattered when a desperate lawyer bursts into her life, begging for her help to find his wife. A celebrated artist who uses artificial intelligence to craft shared dreams for thousands of followers, and who has been kidnapped by a criminal syndicate. This sounds really, really good. This sounds really good. And I think dinosaurs may be involved in some way, shape, or form. So, ooh, spider. Creepy, creepy. It's just a stunning edition, and I have really enjoyed every book that I've read that Broken Binding has sent me so far. So I think, honestly, I should be pulling an older special edition, like a Fairy Loot, but I was thinking about this book earlier, so this seems like a natural progression. Okay, so we've got All That We See or Seem and Dracula. Let's do our second draw. I'm gonna really mix it up here. All right, what do we got? Oh, don't look. Is that upside down? Yeah. Does that say continuous series? I'm actually really happy that I put quite a few of these in here because I love nothing than a series, as you guys know. So this is continuous series. So it has to be something that I'm continuing. Ooh. That doesn't really work. This one's kind of hard actually. Continue a series am I reading? Okay, here's the thing. The only series that I'm really thinking of right now that I own is Red Rising, but I really wanted to reread books 1 and 2 before I went on to Morning Star, which was part of my 10 before the end in 25, and that did not happen. Continue a series. Ooh. I know what we're gonna do. Hold please. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, I was gonna grab the next Dune, but that's a lot of sci-fi for me right now at this moment in time. Shoot. All right, you know what? These need to come off my shelf, so this is what we're gonna do. The next Magnolia Parks book. We're gonna do The Great Undoing by Daisy Hates. I do declare that this is the one that I'm on. Did I read this one? No, I'm pretty sure the last one I read was The Long Way Home. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do this one. Now, the reason that I say these need to come off my shelves is because I've heard problematic things about the author, and this series doesn't speak to me. It doesn't blow me away. I really just like the covers. The content itself is meh, but I think this could be really easy to get through, and I don't care if I listen to this on audio. So for a continuous series, we're gonna do The Great Undoing by Daisy. The Great Undoing, Daisy Hate by Jessa Hastings. All right, that's 2. Watch it be. If I get another series one, I'm doing Dune, because I honestly now I can't think of anything on here on my shelves. All right, what's this one? The pink one, purple one. What did I do? I don't know what the heck that says. Book with a number in the title. Okay. Book with a number in the title. Sure. I don't even know if I own a book with a number in the title, which I probably should have thought about that before I wrote the prompt. TBH. Aha! I've had this book for so long, so this is actually really funny. Hold on. Okay, for this, there was another option that I was thinking, but I've had this book for much longer, and that is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I'm 50-50 on Ruth Ware, but I've just had this one forever. This published at least 10 years ago, I'm certain of it. Let's see here, 2016, boom. This is a 10-year-old book, and I may have owned it for 7 of those 10 years. So for a book with a number in the title, we're gonna do The Woman in Cabin 10. This is exciting, because just all books off my TBR. Okay, one more. I want a good one. I mean, all of these were good. They were fine. They were great. We're gonna go boom, right in the middle. What did I get? Pink? What do we have here? This is definitely upside down. Was it upside down? It wasn't upside down before. A Greek mythology. Okay. Fun. What am I gonna pick? Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna pick because it's been on my shelves also for quite some time. Let me go grab it. For this prompt, I'm gonna do Lore by Alexandra Bracken. This is, I don't know. Every 7 years, the Aegon begins. As punishment for a past rebellion, 9 Greek gods are forced to walk the earth as mortals. They are hunted by the descendants of ancient bloodlines, all eager to kill a god and seize their divine power and immortality. Long ago, Lore Perseus fled that brutal world, turning her back on the hunt's promises of eternal glory after her family was murdered by a rival line. For years, she's pushed away any thought of revenge against the man, now a god, responsible for their deaths. Yet as the next hunt dawns over New York City, 2 participants seek her out. Castor, a childhood friend Lore believed to be dead, and Athena, one of the last of the original gods, now gravely wounded. The goddess offers Lore an alliance against their mutual enemy and a way to leave the Aegon behind forever. But Lore's decision to rejoin the hunt, binding her fate to Athena's, will come at a deadly cost, and it may not be enough to stop the rise of a new god with the power to bring humanity to its I couldn't have told you what this was about if I had not read that in its entirety to you, so I hope it's not super boring, but I am a fan of, it's kind of reminding me of the Percy Jackson series where, like, the gods are just in cities, New York City. There is a map with some of the mythological things, like, placed on the actual map of New York City, so I think that's fun, and yeah, Greek girl. She loves her Greek mythology. Look. Boom. Look at that. Actually, those are pretty good. Pretty similar. My lady's angry though. Oh. That's what we're gonna do for Greek mythology. So this is the stack. This is the stack that we're gonna try to get through this week. We're gonna give it our best shot. Now, am I gonna start one of these tonight? I really should, but just a side note, I am 50% through the third book in the Witcher series. We're reading, me and Allie, what else is new? We're reading in pub order? I don't know. So we read 2 of the novellas first. This is Blood of Elves, and I'm having a really good time. So it's gonna be hard to tear myself away, but I do think, I should start with Dracula because that's the oldest one, but I'm honestly kind of feeling a thriller. I actually had borrowed one from the library, which if you guys have been around for a while, you've heard me say 8 million times that I don't really like thrillers, and we're gonna retract that previous statement because I don't like domestic thrillers, which this one, I mean, it's The Woman in Cabin 10, so like whatever, but I am excited to get through this for the TBR challenge, and I'm kind of feeling something easy to digest. If I can get the audiobook, that will be even better. So let's get started on an ambitious February TBR reading vlog using my TBR prompt, coffin. Hello. Hi. We're updating. Next day, I did start one of the books that we pulled for this little rushed February TBR reading vlog. Okay, so The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware is following our main character, Lo, who works for a magazine, and she goes through a lot of shit in the first 50 pages and then ends up on this weird, uncanny valley, like small but grandiose, like cruise liner, pleasure boat, whatever you want to call it, but it's really small. It's only got like 10 cabins, and she's part of this billionaire's kind of maiden voyage to cover the event and the launch for her newspaper because her boss is sick. And now some of the things, the main thing I should say, that happens in the first few pages, which I'm sure is part of the synopsis, she gets burgled. Her home gets invaded. She opens her bedroom door and there's a guy with a mask, but he doesn't hurt her. He just takes her purse and all the things inside of her purse and kind of dips out. And she's having a really hard time processing this. Lo is having, she's really struggling to feel safe, to get any sleep. She's self-medicating with alcohol. So there are quite a few themes I think we're gonna start getting, like, of unreliable narrator. Is she imagining things? Because we did get to, I really don't know how much the synopsis gives you, so, because this doesn't have one. So I'm not trying to like spoil the whole book, but we are at a point where I think the main thing has happened on the boat and she's already being questioned. Her sobriety is being questioned. Like, was she really able to understand the situation because of how inebriated she was, even though she was just drinking as much as everybody else that was at the dinner? And we started getting introductions of the other characters. I don't find any of them likable, and I don't really find any of them like so unique or individual that I can't keep them apart, the people that are on this ship. It's just a bunch of rich bitches. It's not my favorite writing from Ruth Ware. This one, it's honestly not, it's not blowing my mind. I didn't think it was going to. I wouldn't even say that I particularly like it, but it's like 300 pages. It's 340 pages. I'm already over 100 pages in. I'm at page 104, chapter 12. So we have been rewatching Sons of Anarchy, and I say that because I've watched the first season and then nothing after that. So this first season is a rewatch, but I don't know anything that happens after this. So I was pretty successful kind of just zoning out, watching a show and reading this book last night, and I'm honestly so tired. My cat, as cute as they are, as we all know that they are absolute little psychotic beasts about food. They have woken me up multiple times in the middle of the night the last 2 days screaming for snacks, and I have been having to get up at 5:30 every day because my shift got a promotion at work and it let me go back to day shift. So I'm 7 to 3:30 Monday through Friday. No night shift anymore, which is awesome. But at the same time, I'm trying to get myself okay with waking up so early in the morning. So I've been going to bed early enough to get a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and these little monsters that I've raised, these little heathens, they must be fed at all hours of the night. So I'm pretty tired, all that to say. I have grand plans of making a biscuit pot pie for dinner, but my chicken is still defrosting. So I'm gonna go sit a spell and have a snack and get back to this book so I can just get her done and then go back to some either I have a couple of other reads that I would also like to get back to that are not part of this vlog, but then we also have 4 more books to read for this vlog, including annotating Dracula. Also, let's just take a moment for this amazing Dracula bookmark that Allie gave me that I am able to use to read Dracula for the first time. So I am actually really excited for this too. This is only a little over 300 pages. The font is really small, but I think it'll be really fun. I have been wanting to read this for my entire life, it would seem, and she's finally doing it at the ripe old age of 34. Okay, I am going to sit a spell. I'll check back in probably before I go to bed if I'm able to. I'm showered, I'm skin-cared. Bros and sisters, I went to Ulta to get my cleansing oil and I got cuticle nippers because I do my own nails at home. That's 2 things. Sunscreen, and not even like high end. It was CeraVe sunscreen. And what was the last thing I got? A new tube of mascara because I've been using the crusty old expired same tube for like the last year. Almost $70. What the fuck is going on? I had been stopping myself from buying those few things because I was trying to be good, and I finally caved. I was like, you got a promotion. Go buy yourself your fucking oil cleanser, okay? A couple other things that I wanted. None of it was high end. It was all like the drugstore brands of everything. Almost $70 for 4 fucking things. In this economy, this is why I stay home and mind my business, okay? Because I went to the store for a couple of things and she's $70 poorer. But she's got the written word, so everything will probably be fine. All right, I will check back. Feeling a little delulu. I'll check back in a little bit or when I have another update. I think I can get to probably page 200 by the time it's time for me to make dinner, check back in, probably pass out early, and hopefully get a full night's sleep. And then I think, honestly, our next book should be Dracula. I just feel that we should pop this baby open. I might fuck around and start it tonight before I finish this. We'll see. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit, probably. Hello. Hi. We're here. I'm here. I finished this book and I'm happy that the TBR challenge brought me here so I can get it off my shelves after many, many years. This was the most formulaic, uninteresting, uninspired thriller I've read in a long time. And this is the type of thriller that makes me not want to read more thrillers, but I just didn't care about any of the characters. I thought there were too many characters for what we were trying to do. The focus was not clear, I think, on like what we were really supposed to care about throughout the plot of this. And really just Lo, the main character, sucks. Like, I don't think she's not a nice person. She's mean to her boyfriend. She's mean to everybody on the boat. And they throw this depression, anxiety, like she's being treated for mental health conditions. They throw that into the book at a certain point about halfway through, and we're supposed to latch onto that as being the motivation for why Lo acts the way that she acts. And I just think she's a bad person and it has nothing to do with her mental health at all. Obviously a little bit probably does, but and then the home invasion at the beginning I thought was going to be more relevant, as in like it was going to come up that the person that had burgled her was involved on the yacht, but it's really just a plot point at the beginning to make our main character unreliable and make her extra paranoid and jumpy when she actually gets on the boat. This is 2 stars. We're still rating things here because I can't figure out how else to live my life. This was 2 stars. We're moving on. Okay, I must finish Blood of Elves, the Witcher book by Andrzej Sapkowski. Need to finish that. That's not part of this vlog, but I am going to bring Dracula out. I think I'm just gonna do like maybe 2 or 3 different color tabs and stick with that, or I might even just do 1 color because these colors are really similar. And now this one is a rollover from January that I didn't get to, but this was what I wanted to read for a book that I wanted to annotate, because I did annotate my same Wordsworth Classic edition of Frankenstein, so I want my Dracula one to match. I'm doing this update quick and fast and short and dirty because I am not long for this world. I am freshly showered, freshly skincare, and I'm exhausted. And I just want to eat the burgers and fries, Five Guys, thank you, for dinner that I just ordered, and pass out. Tomorrow's Friday. I want to get some good reading done. Honestly, my plan is to turn this weekend into just like a little marathon session to try to get through as many of these as we can before the work week, just because my new role at work I think has been going really well, but I'm just wore out. I'm tired, my brain wants to shut off, and that includes even reading for leisure. And yeah, that's that. So I am gonna go hunker down, finish up some books. This is gonna go directly in my donate pile. So hopefully, I mean, it's in good condition, little free library, donate, whatever. Someone will enjoy this, and that's the beauty of reading, okay? I will check back in probably tomorrow or maybe even Saturday, depending on how tomorrow goes exhaustion wise. And I'm hoping to have an update on what I start next, which will probably be Dracula. I was thinking about maybe picking up the audiobook for either The Great Undoing or maybe Lore, but I do absolutely adore this cover. I really do. I love it. And there is a map inside, so I don't know, we'll see. But tomorrow's another day and another me. What will I be tomorrow? I don't know. I'm babbling now. Okay, we'll talk tomorrow when I have some more updates on what I finish, what I read. Well, I'm not gonna finish anything else for this vlog, but I do need to finish Blood of Elves so I can move on to the rest of the books that are a part of this vlog. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hiya, it's me, your girl. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Let's try to make this really fast. Also, sorry if you can hear my washing machine. It's old. It was $150 for my washer and dryer on Facebook Marketplace, and they're the best ones I've ever had, but they're loud. So I want to update really quickly now because my camera is actually going to die. I am almost 200 pages into Dracula by Bram Stoker, and I am loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm really liking this. I mean, the bookmark, the writing, the quotes, the characters, the setup, the way it's being told through multiple POVs, but between characters that are loosely linked to each other via their journal entries or their correspondences to each other, or just like there's one excerpt that builds up some really great tension for the story, and it's just from the correspondent, just a guy on a ship where Dracula is doing his damn thing. I am enjoying this a lot more than I liked Frankenstein. I do want to reread Frankenstein because I do think I missed something there, but this was right time, right place for this one, and I'm really happy for that. The annotating is going well. Sorry, I'm just doing this a lot. I just love looking at my own tabs and annotations. I'm not a big annotator, but it always surprises me how easily it comes back to me when I pick a book that I really wanted to annotate. And this was, again, as a reminder, one of the draws that I had in January for a book that I want to annotate. Didn't get to it in January. We're cramming here in February, as Jan would say. So I will probably sit back down. This was a lot faster, even of an update than I wanted it to be, but I will definitely be back later to do some filming, probably after I finish this, and we'll talk about my T's and P's and what the next TBR draw book is going to be. I don't know what that is and why I always have the compulsive urge to do it when I do a check-in. Hello. I don't like the way I sound. I fear that all the people that have been sick at work is going to catch up to me, but I also might just be tired for no reason other than I could have used an afternoon cup of coffee, but here we are. Okay, last time I checked in, we had a little over 100 pages left in Dracula. I finished, and then I painted my nails. So you know how it goes. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. on everything. This is good. I mean, it is the classic vampire story for a reason. I love the setup of how we're following our characters and our journey across the Atlantic Ocean and our journey throughout Europe multiple times back and forth, kind of like always a step behind Dracula in his wake of terror that he reigns over wherever he goes. And the writing is really accessible. If you are, I'm like 99% sure that this is considered a classic, but either way, it's very accessible if older writing or older books kind of give you pause. This one was really easy to read. I had a really good time. I'm glad that I annotated it because I thought it was really fun to see all these tropes of vampires and the lore that I know from outside the realm and scope of this book, specifically because this is the first time I'm reading it, and then to see it all come together, but really from its origin point, from its origin story. Now, that's not to say that Dracula wrote the book on vampires. Vampire lore has been around far before when Bram Stoker did his interpretation of it, but this is just a classic vampire story for a reason. So that is 2 books down for this last minute February TBR. Let's take a look at what we have left. I do know what I want to start next just because I've been thinking about it, but this is what we have left, and I do think I'm going to pick up Lore by Alexandra Bracken for the Greek mythology pick. I think I briefly read the synopsis to you guys earlier, but already forgot. I was thinking about doing the audio for this one, but I really do like that it has a map, which I think is super fun. This is kind of giving me like maybe an adult type of Percy Jackson, where we have Greek gods and mythological beings and creatures and lore happening in the real-time map of New York City. So I do think that sounds fun. I'm gonna try to start this tonight and maybe be back with an update, but no promises. This is about 470 pages, which is thicker than I thought, but we can get this done this week. And I mean, who would I be if I didn't? Oh, that shirt sleeve's getting a little tight there. I fear that I already did this earlier in the video, so editing me, don't be obnoxious about it, but also, okay, enough of that. I am gonna at least start this tonight, I think. I don't know if I will be back with an update because I'm feeling run down a little bit, and I don't know if it means that I've caught whatever has been going around my workplace, but I am just gonna chill. What else am I good for around here, around these parts yonder? I do have some editing that I would like to get done, some organizing of footage. I did a big upload earlier, and then I have some spark of creativity for Instagram, but as usual, it's almost 5:30 p.m. and I haven't done a single thing with it on Sunday, and then I just end up in this vicious cycle of wanting to do stuff on the weekends when I have time and then being so dead on my feet from the work week that I don't want to do anything except to catch up on my reading and my shows and my stories and my programs, which is what I've been doing. Yesterday I watched something. What did I watch? Get Out. Love that. Jordan Peele. Immaculate. Today I watched Annabelle, the first one that came out chronologically. I did start Annabelle Creation, but then my husband came out in the living room and now we're watching What We Do in the Shadows, which was awesome. Reading this book too. BT dubs. Highly recommend if you like reading with background noise of a TV show or something. Enough yapping, enough babbling. I am going to take this pretty lady to the couch and just continue sitting on that couch. I really don't feel good and I don't love that for me, so we'll see how the rest of this TBR challenge goes. It is Sunday, February 22nd, so I have 6 more days to read this plus these 2 books. We can do it. We just have to be dedicated. We have to stay strong, and it's dedication, it's not motivation. Okay, I'll be back when I have an update. Hopefully that is not me sick to my stomach, to my head, to my core, and an update on lore. Hi, it's been a couple of days, but I had to do an update because I decided to DNF this, and while I'm a little a lot upset, actually. I did read some of the lower star ratings on Goodreads, and a lot of T's and P's that people had kind of validated the reasons why I wasn't really vibing with this. And again, I love Greek mythology. I'm Greek. I have a Greek mythology sleeve. Like, I have delved into these tales before, and this book just like jumps into insanely confusing and convoluted world building. It was really the mixing of like the gods and the heroes, and it's the house of this, and there's the living lines here and the dead ones here. And I wasn't even 100 pages in, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I just didn't care enough about lore, about whatever the plot was going to be, and then I just validated that with reading some of the not so great reviews. So I just think I'm gonna unhaul this. Someone else will enjoy it, I'm sure of it. That's the beauty of reading. And that's the point of this TBR challenge, of trying to use the prompts to pick books that are physically on my shelves or owned on my Kindle, or physically there, everywhere. And if I don't like it, I get rid of it, you know? There's no need to keep books on my shelves that, I mean, obviously I tried this one and I didn't like it, but the point of this is that I'm going to try them to see if I do like them. So a lot of people on YouTube here do this type of a reading challenge every month to pick their TBR, so I'm certainly not the first person that's done this, but I am having a great time doing it. Okay. Whew. We have like 4 days to read 2 more books, and I'm exhausted, but I do think I'm gonna pick up All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu. This is just a beautiful edition. This is what I picked for special edition, and it's actually one of my newer ones, which I was hoping to get to some of the older special editions, like especially from Fairy Loot and the Afterlight Illuma Crate box. But the day that I did the draw, I just was, oh yes ma'am, the day that I did the draw, I just was already thinking about this book, and I picked a special edition, and this is a gorge special edition. And it's following a young girl. She is helping a desperate lawyer find his wife, a celebrated artist who uses AI to craft shared dreams for thousands of followers, and who has been kidnapped by a crime syndicate. But there's like a bunch of dinosaurs here in these end papers, so I'm interested to see what the dinosaurs have to do with anything. So I do think I'm going to start this one. It's not terribly long. It's just under 400 pages, so we can get through this. But I am also doing another vlog at the same time and trying to read those books, and also just the books that I'm mood reading outside of the videos. And it's like, I'm tired. I'm tired. But that's showbiz, baby. Okay, so I am going to put this to the side for now, because we'll talk about these again all at the end, like I like to do. And I'll check back in a little bit here when I have an update on this one. I am excited. I have high hopes for this, and I've been in the mood for a sci-fi. So we'll be back in a little bit. Got my comfy cute lounge clothes. Got this at Kroger, which is insane. And I'll be back when I have something more to say about All That We See or Seem, which BT dub I have said incorrectly about 45 times making these videos. And hey, to you guys as well. Danny has just eaten a bone from steak dinner, which is what she always gets, and she's being very smacky. So if you hear that, you hear that. I don't know what to tell you, but I wanted to do a quick little update. It is Saturday. It is the last day of February in this seemingly unending year of 2026, our Lord and Savior, Cthulhu. But I am just about exactly halfway through All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu, and I am really enjoying this. It's very AI, technology, sciencey based, and I don't really understand half of what they're talking about, but it has themes that we are experiencing right now. The discussion surrounding AI and surveillance, and it's hitting very close to home, but in a very ethereal way, because we're following Julia Z, who is helping this lawyer try to find his wife, who is in Onirifex. And in this world, that means that she helps people have a collective dream. Like through AI, she designs almost like being part of a play. Like they will be in this big theater or auditorium that she's rented out, and she kind of chants and hypnotizes them. It's very interesting. It's very unique. It's very different, and I'm having a good time, to the point where I needed to come do this update real quick. I honestly just haven't felt like vlogging today. Tomorrow's another day, Sunday fun day, but I really just wanted to read, relax, reset, wash my hair, make a nice steak dinner, and that's what I did. And I regret nothing, but I really feel strongly that I want to finish this tonight and see what happens. It's feeling very much like a 4-star, and I'm excited to finish it. So with that, we do have one more book for this February TBR reading vlog, and this is probably not going to happen tonight, okay? But again, tomorrow's another day, and I was being ambitious thinking that I could finish these 5 books in like 12 days. I just have been having trouble sitting down and reading a book for hours, not necessarily in a bad way. Some days are better than others as far as like anxiety and the crushing weight of existing. Also, just like I'm doing other things. I've been watching a lot of new horror movies. I have been watching a lot of fun new and rewatch comfort shows and crocheting. Just we're doing things. Also, the project that I am currently crocheting, it's kind of hard to see the stitches, but it's the 6-day star blanket, and I'm using this insane yarn, Karen Smash Cakes. This one is blackberry. I bought 2 of them just because like this is very much, I mean, if you look at the lights on behind me in the shelves right now, like this is just very much my color scheme. The only thing is I don't love the way that it worked up in this actual pattern, because what I enjoy about the 6-day star blanket pattern, which I will link, it's Betty McKnit if you follow. There was drama about this at some point, but it's a really fun and easy pattern and it works up really fast. And I just was feeling like making myself a blanket, making, you know, like treating myself to something that I handmade is like a fun way to not spend money but still get yourself something sweet. So what I like about this pattern is when it works up, if you change colors the right way, the stitches look really, really pretty. And I think that all of my stitches are essentially lost in this. This is like a neon rainbow camouflage situation, but whatever, it is what it is. And this yarn needed to get used for something, so it's gonna be a blanket. And I think I might have that one was on me. Wow, that was a lot. I may have already shown this, but I still need a button to attach a button, but I crocheted this granny square laptop sleeve. My MacBook is in here. I really like how it came out. I like how honestly, this is some of my best stitch work. Not to brag, but I'm bragging. I just need to get a button. I did make it a tad too big, and I measured as I went along, but I was worried that it would be too small because I do have a 15-inch MacBook, but it ended up being, oh God, it looks kind of crazy. Kind of like weirding me out. Like a 3D, y'all know what I'm trying to talk about? Like an optical illusion. Ooh. All right, I need to stop waiting until like 8 p.m. after a day of not using my brain to try to talk to you guys. But I needed to do the update because I really want to finish. I want to sit down and finish this book, and then I will try to at least start just to like read a few pages of it and get my foot in the door, if you will. But I am gonna try to finish these both at least tomorrow, March 1st, and we will go ahead and pick the next TBR, and I'll film that for the next video. So I will come back tomorrow, update on this, finished, update on where we're gonna be with this. Hello. It is the next day, and as promised, I finished All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu, and I really liked this. I'm giving it 4 stars. It looks like it might be the beginning to a series following Julia Z, kind of going on these mystery treasure hunt kind of quests, but a lot more. That's kind of what it gives. Like, she's gone to help find Pierce's wife, but a lot of things happen from the beginning of this to the end of this, in the sense that she has a lot of character growth. She's been through a lot of trauma and ran away from home when she was 14 because she didn't really have another choice, and now she's kind of finding that people still value her even though she's done some things that she's not proud of. So I really liked that this mixed a lot of sci-fi, tech heavy jargon type prose, which I do enjoy whether I understand what they're talking about or not. BT dubs didn't understand a single thing this was talking about for the most part, but you get the gist of it, and that's what I like about sci-fi. Like, I don't think I mean, half the time I don't even know if this is real technology. Some of it probably is, which is scary, but a lot of it could just be what Ken Liu has made up. And I think it was actually a very digestible, heavy, science-y jargon type of sci-fi. And the character development, the story, the plot, the quest, the intelligence that Julia has, incredible. I do also think that she might be representative of someone on the spectrum. She has a lot of trouble interacting socially, and Pierce kind of helps like break her out of a shell and like bring down some walls that she's built up around herself. And I thought that was really nice, real sweet. Had some moments that surprised me. Definitely will pick up more from this offer. Let me take a sip of coffee. That's better. I will definitely be picking up more from this author. In fact, I have had their Dandelion Dynasty series on my radar for quite some time. So really enjoyed this one. That's the 4th book for this February TBR. And now it is March 1st because I started this like a crazy person on like February 18th and I just didn't make all 5 books. So we have one left and it is The Great Undoing, Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. So I initially like enjoyed these just for like the Gossip Girl, very silly, goofy kind of boredom buster quality that they give me. But I guess Jessa Hastings has become quite a problematic author. So as much as I love these covers, I don't love the books enough to keep them per se. So we're gonna work on this one. This one looks like the shortest one in the series, and the font, like it's UK, or the UK edition, so the margins are a lot different, and I think I could probably get through this pretty easily. Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. Oh, it's opposite. Then why is it written like that? The next one is, I think, Into the Dark. I don't know, whatever the 5th one is. I think it's the last one, so we're gonna try to prioritize this today. I don't know, I'm not really feeling it, but for the sake of this February TBR last minute challenge vlog, we're gonna do our best. Okay, so to update, that's our last one, and we have read 3 of the 5 to completion. Really enjoyed Dracula, tabbing it. The Woman in Cabin 10 will be a donation unhaul, and All That We See or Seem, very happy to have this special edition on my shelves. Not gonna lie, NGL. Now, ooh, she's so close, but look at her skin, it's not bad. My coworker gave me a bunch of Korean skincare as a gift, and if that's not work friendship, I don't know what is. I did, as we know to be true from earlier in this video, decide to DNF lore as much as that pained me to do so. So this will also be going in the unhaul donation pile. So we've got 1 left, 4 done. I will check back in. Honestly, I'm gonna try my best, but I'm just like really not in the mood to read this book. And that's all I have to say about that. So I will check back into this vlog whenever I have an update on Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. It is very annoying that they put The Great Undoing above Daisy Hates, if that's not how it's pronounced. It is such a shame because these are some of the coolest covers I've ever seen. But I think there's talks of Jessa using AI, or like has a certain beliefs that some of us may not agree with. I don't know too much about it because I try to mind my own business with a lot of things, but I have seen her name come up quite a bit on Threads and Booksta as being maybe a little problematic. So we're gonna read this and we're gonna move on with our lives. I will be back to check in when I have an update, and hopefully we can close this vlog out and move on to the March TBR, which I am about to film for the next video, so stay tuned. Hello, welcome to the end of this vlog. Holy cannoli. So it's been quite a few days since the last time that I updated. I did finish Daisy Hates The Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings, and it was fine. I don't think whatever genre this may be, like very gossip girly, reality TV, toxic type of relationship, fictions or romances are not super my jam, but for the sake of this vlog and for seeing if this is a series that I want to keep or unhaul, which I'm thinking it's an unhaul, which sucks because I love the covers, we read it. It picks up with Daisy after the events of her first book, which is the 2nd book in this series, and it's just called Daisy Hates. So the first book is Magnolia Park, second one is Daisy Hates, then it was The Long Way Home, and then this one, and then the last one is, I can never remember. I couldn't tell you, I can't read from that far away. But as much as this is not really my preferred genre, it is very bingeable. It's very digestible. It was super easy to get through. I think I finished it in 2 or 3 sittings, and the characters are fun, but it's just not a genre that I think I care for anymore. And the footnotes are probably one of the most annoying literary devices that could have been used in a fiction. Footnotes are for references. Jessa Hastings will make some of the footnotes part of the conversation, like dialogue that could have easily just been up with the rest of the dialogue in the main body of the text, whatever. I'm gonna give this a 3-star. I gave it a 3.25 on Storygraph just for the sake of it was easy to get through, but I do think once I finish the last book in this series, I'll probably unhaul them. So with that, we got through all the books for this last minute February TBR. Now it is March 7th, so if I had done this at the beginning of February, we would have been fine. But because I did it in the middle, we bled over into March. That's showbiz, baby. Let's look at the books one more time. So let's just go over the books one more time. This was the stack that the TBR coffin picked for us. I did read Dracula, which was a holdover from January, and then these were the 4 choices that I actually drew for February, even though again we're finishing this in March. The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. This one was just fine. I think I gave it 3 stars. All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu. I really liked this one. It was a very fun sci-fi, very interesting, very relevant topic, AI right now. This one was a 4-star. Lore by Alexandra Bracken unfortunately was a DNF, and I will be unhauling it. And then Daisy Hates The Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings was a 3/3.25. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, thank you for coming. Hit like, hit subscribe, stay around. I love to babble and bull spit about books and mildly things that are going on in my life. There's nothing really going on in my life because I'm just trying to cope with being a human in the year of our Lord 2026. So again, if you watched until the end, thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll stick around, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.